Hi everyone, my name is Jamie. I'm so excited to be doing this video with you guys today. Today I'll actually be doing an update on my panning bingo, which I created this year. It's because a bingo card has 25 spots and this is 2025, so this is my version of 25 in 2025. But today I thought I would be doing it differently and doing panning bingo, but get ready with me style. So as you can see, I have some things marked off here and I'll kind of explain things as I go along. But I thought that I would just kind of give updates on this board kind of based on the order that I put them on my face. And it got me thinking to maybe like the next time I do this and put one together that I'd actually do it in like face order so I can like update as I go. So something for future Jamie to think about. And it's an update on that board might be coming sooner than later actually. So I already did my base. I did my serum and my sunscreen, which I am using up slowly but surely. And actually my serum's almost gone. I thought I'd just show you guys before I top it up again. You can see it's all the way down here at the W, which I'm very proud of. It's only been about a month, so I'm going through that a lot faster than I thought I would, but I am using it twice a day. Maybe sometimes even 3 times, depending on if I like go to the gym and take a shower in the middle of the day. So the first thing that's on my board that I'm trying to use up right now, not the first one, but the first thing I'm going to be featuring is this primer right here. It's a Tatcha primer. So I'm just going to be applying this. I've actually been enjoying applying this with a sponge lately. So that's what I'll do today. I have a damp sponge here, load it up. And I really, really enjoy this primer because it smells like Earl Grey. Actually, speaking of, I need to get myself a cup of tea later on. But yes, so this has been pleasant to smell like first thing in the morning, kind of wakes me up a little bit. But this is how much I've left. Sorry, that's like the whole point of this update is for me to show you how much is left. So I've definitely expanded the pan, I guess plastic in this case, and hope to work my way out to that corner here and then kind of work my way around. I'm going to do my best to use this up as is. I'm like such a Franken panner, so I'm like itching this to mix this with something, but I don't have anything really to mix yet, so that's why. If you hear any noise in the background, actually the window open because it's a beautiful day, and so you might hear noises. I think that was an Amazon truck I just heard. Okay, so the next thing on this board I'm going to be using is I'm going to be underpainting with this one. As you can see, I already have a sticker here, but I'm actually going to do the last application of that cream blush with you. This is the Lawless Cream Blush in Angel. I got it in a Sephora box, Sephora kit last year, but this is all that's left. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I have been using it kind of aggressively. And also what I do is that it's, as much as it looks really neutral, I think, in the pan, which you can barely see any of, and I actually enjoy using it with like a more fluffy brush too. I also try to dab off the excess onto the back of my hand. You can see a little bit comes off. Like when there was more product, a lot more was coming off. Yeah, this is just my way of kind of not putting too much on, even though I'm underpainting, because there was definitely a few times I walked out of the house with just a little bit too much on. All right, let's just load up the last of it on this brush. Isn't that satisfying? Live action pan. Yes, yes, I love a good live action pan. Like empty, live action empty. This is, I saved it for you guys. So there it is. It's empty. And it's, I feel bad like using the back of my hand like another face almost, but part of me is like, I'm also here to finish things and I have other things I need to move on to. So this one's done. I think the next one I'll move on to, if I have it out with me, is, oh, I do. It is the Danessa Myricks blush. Ugh, dropping things too, but I mixed it in with this cream highlighter already. So it almost looks the same, but technically this is a mix of the highlight that's shown here and the Danessa Myricks blush that I showed. So this is the next one I'll move on to. Let me grab the thing that's rolled away. All right. So one done. So this one on the board, sorry, I keep pulling this board back and forth, is this one up here. And I actually marked it, I'm filming this on the 26th. And I marked this as the 24th because that's when I like in my mind called it done. And I was like, I'm going to put the rest aside to use up with you guys. So to me, the 24th, but regardless, it's marked off. All right. And then the next thing here is, and let me just like preface too, like these two that are marked off, like I really did finish those earlier, so I don't even have those to show you. I probably have the packaging in a drawer there, which I probably should pull out. Let me check. Yes, I do. So this is the lip balm that's in here. And that is it flush to the packaging. So I'm not going to dig it out for the sake of this project, but I will dig it out to put probably my lip palette once I have enough room for it. But yes, that was my second empty. As you can see, this one was the first empty, and that was the kind of contour topper shade that I had. And I don't think I have that packaging with me, but it was just like a pan. I ended up frankening it with something else, which I'll show in a bit, but yes, so this packaging is out, this packaging is out, and this packaging is out now. I actually don't know what to redo with this packaging because I obviously will keep this just to figure that out. And I obviously kept that because it's pretty straightforward, but I need to figure that one out if anything should go in there. Anyways, so the next thing I'm going to apply to my face is my cream bronzer, which is, it doesn't look like this anymore, but it's actually a mix of groundwork. And what is the name of it? Bougie from MAC. It's one of their paint pots that I mixed together. So this is what it looks like now, mixed together. You can kind of see elements of both. And I enjoy using a brush to apply this. I feel like with the sponge, it stains the sponge really badly. And I also do the same thing where I try to take off some excess on the back of my hand. And it does give like a reddish tone to it. So I try to be careful, especially around my hairline. And sometimes if I get enough product, I can do both sides of my face here. And then I also use this on my eyes just because it's a paint pot, so I can do that. Sometimes I use my fingers, sometimes I use my sponge actually to apply my primers. So that's that here. So you can see, I like actually remelted this recently just to really get the true. So I think it's almost flush to where the glass is. And as you can see, there's not much product underneath the glass. So I'd say it's probably around under half, maybe like 2/5 full, if that's an okay estimate. But yeah, still a long way to go. I would love to hit the glass sometime soon, but I think just the way I'm using it, it's gonna kind of wear away at it evenly versus like drill panning it to the bottom. Maybe if I like used a brush or something with it for my eye primer, then I could like get a spot where I could maybe drill pan a little bit better. But yeah, I think this is just gonna be a consistent use. The groundwork paint pot is older in my collection. I think I got it summer of 2023. So it'd actually be really nice to get it done by summer of 2025, which I think if with consistent use, I could probably get really close and get that one knocked off my board soon. But yes, not yet. Okay, so the next one on my board that I typically do is my foundation, which is housed in this packaging here right now. I know on here it looks like it's in this big bottle because I am technically working through this big bottle. I am trying to finish that bottle, but I put a little bit in here just because it looks nicer on my vanity, and I'm not, that bottle in particular is very bulky and not very sightly. So that's this here. It's more of a tinted foundation than it is anything else. And I also, when I had a liquid bronzer in here, I could actually tell where it was. I cannot tell where it is now, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to look at it in the light, and I don't know if it's markings from before, like maybe halfway. Like, I'm just guessing, to be honest. And like, it doesn't help that with the angles and stuff, I'm like, oh, maybe it's here, but obviously this is just the line from like the shape of the packaging. So, so I really can't tell, but I'm working through it. That's all that really matters. So I'm gonna load some up onto my sponge here. And it's mainly just to take down how much blush I put on my face more than anything else. But it is nice to also have an even base, especially for my nose these days. And also like any red in the hairline that I could have gotten from that cream bronzer. So underpainting for the win. All right, from there, let me dip into my concealer. Getting through my concealer is another goal of mine on my panning bingo. It's down here. And this was what it looked like when I first, when I first took the picture at the beginning of the year. And this is what it looks like now. Not all that different, but as you can see, I actually moved all this product over here because I did like an experiment over here with my cream eyeshadow, and it didn't work. It dried out and I had to dig it back out. So I moved it all over here and it all fits nicely. I realized that actually these shades are a little dark for me right now in the winter, so I am dipping into this lighter shade, which I'm very happy about, because I was like, I have no idea when else I'm going to use this. So I'm trying to hit side pan on this for a deck of panning, I think, right now. So I'm gonna, oh, I just hit it. Yes. Okay, cool. You guys see it? 2 live action pans. Oh man, I can barely see it right there. And of course it doesn't help that the concealer is like kind of blending it, so I can't give you a, but it looks pretty side pan to me. So win. And then I mix in a little bit of this lighter shade here. And then again, I use the back of my hand like another face, and I tap it on there first, just to make sure I have the right shade, but also just to take off like a ton of excess, just because, you know, under eye concealer is not that forgiving. And if it's not blended out well, it will look a little heavy. So now I'm gonna go in with, I always get a little bit confused once I get to this step. I'm like, all right, all my cream stuff is on my face, now what? Now I go in with my powder blush and powder bronzer, because I actually do like set my face after all that, just in case I go a little bit extra with my blushes. This one is also on my Panning Bingo. As you can see, it's like basically a full face of Panning Bingo products. I don't think I've had one that isn't yet. That one's down here. And I guess it doesn't really show the level of at the beginning of the year. I would say it's definitely a little bit more rounded than it is. And this is looking flat. Like, you cannot see it from a full profile. And here, I don't know, it's not going to really show. But, you know, it's getting flatter and flatter. Still debating if I want to Franken this. Because it is pretty sheer. Like, it gives off a nice glow just with the mineralized formula and just enough color. But I think once I pull in my other cream blush, I think I'll have to see how that plays together with my like under painting method, because that one can be quite dramatic. So I don't know if I actually want to Franken this to make it, you know, have more pigment or not. The next thing here is kind of as a story behind it. It was a mix of the contour topper shade that I finished up, and I used kind of the remnants to mix this thing that I'm going to show you in a bit. And then I also mixed in a bit of this powder, which is also in my Panning Bingo. So you can see I scraped all the way to the edge. So basically side pan for this one, but man, I am dreading getting through this one. So I mixed all that together. It still wasn't quite the right tone, so I ended up mixing in some blue and green eyeshadow, which was really an experiment, but it kind of worked. And then, because it was a shade that I pressed together, it did crack and fall apart when I was like tapping it somewhere. And so this is all I have in this pan left. It was nearly full. I think it was maybe like half full in terms of the pan. But it was like, it covered the entire bottom. So unfortunately, this is what's left of that Frankening experiment. Am I really that sad? Because obviously I'm trying to get through these products as fast as possible. But I really should be more careful, is that lesson. So, again, just to like knock off any excess, I just pat a bit there. And then, but yeah, honestly, that mix, especially adding in that blue, was really good. It gave it the neutral color that I needed, versus the other two shades was like really, really warm. So I think that helps a lot. Okay, so now to, let's set everything now. So I've still been working through my Franken powder. Not too much left here, but this is not part of, well, kind of. I've been mixing in this Smashbox powder with it. So you can see there's like scrape marks all over it because I'm actually putting it in the Franken powder here. But yes, let's first set the under eyes, because man, we all know the longer we wait, more likely it'll crease. So let's do that first. And I kind of set the eyeshadow base too while I'm at it. And then we'll also just go all over the face with the fluffy brush. Kind of dampen down anything else that's a little bit too harsh. Okay, looking matte. Now let's do the eyeshadow part. Eyeshadow part's actually been interesting. First of all, let me show you which eyeshadows from the board I've been working on. Mainly, I've been focusing on this one, which is a shimmery, glittery shade. I've also pulled in this darker one here and this one as well, and I mixed those two together. So let me show you where they're at now. I'm happy to report that the glittery, shimmery shade now has a nice pan. And given just, I think, the way it was Franken, I think it was dry pressed, it was a little crumbly. And also, I don't like I don't grind it up super fine. So once it chunks off, it really like does flake off. And I've actually been mixing these two together. Both, this one's also in my panning bingo as well. So I've been mixing those two, trying to get some work on it. And then I've been mixing these two, and as you can see, there's really no progress. But this one actually, I not repressed it, but I basically realized it was really, really soft. So I did technically repress it. I soaked it with alcohol as much as I could, and then like pressed it down again, and that actually made it like really tamped it down, which was nice. So now I feel more confident in terms of like it's solidly in there. All right, so let's go in with the shimmery shade first. So I mix these two together. I kind of just pat all around and hope nothing falls out. And something that's been really helping me is either tapping it off at the back of my hand or tapping it even like on a piece of paper, which I have a piece of paper here, so I'm going to do that real quick. I think getting rid of the excess, of course, helps me use up more, but it also helps me not to overuse it because it's the kind of glitter that just like falls all over your face. And then same thing for this one. I mix those two. And again, tap it off because I have, otherwise it is a little bit too intense for my everyday needs at least. So like in the camera, I'm like, that's not enough. And I know like every day it's definitely enough. So yeah. All right, from there, I just used my fluffy brush that I had my powder on and just kind of buff that out just to make sure it's not too crazy. So that's that there. I'm very excited to see at least a pan in there. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to get a pan on this one soon. I already feel like there's a little bit of a dip, and then I would love to see a dip in this one because I'm basically starting this one brand new and just crossing my fingers that it's gonna get there. All right, so from there, I think it's just setting spray. No, I still have mascara. What am I thinking? All right, so let me do this. I do need a new mascara soon, but I'm really trying to wait until I go on my trip. That's like my only excuse for buying things now is when I actually travel, which I have a little bit of travel lined up like every other month this year. At least for the first half of the year. So I feel like it's something I can look forward to, and it's not like something I can like easily drive to and get access to. I mean, I do have access to beauty stores nearby, but in terms of like, it's not easy to travel and buy stuff. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like planned. So I'm looking forward to that. And like, if I don't get around to purchasing anything on the trip, like that's fine too. But like, that's the window I have, is what is the permission I'm giving myself. But yes, a mascara is in the books. I was lazy and have not been using my mascara brush like I told myself I would. So it's like definitely getting to the point where it's not super sanitary anymore. I think I opened this late September, so it's not that old, but older. And then my brow mascara, I guess, is this one, which is also not in my panning bingo. Too many different names. And then this one is, and actually I wanted to sharpen this with you guys on camera. This is my Royal lip pencil from MAC, and it is around there. I only sharpen it about once a week. I try not to over sharpen it. I count 4, I do 4 twists, which I don't think is full rotations, but yeah, this lip pencil is just like so stiff. So it's gonna take, if I'm only doing this, if I'm only sharpening like once a week, like we'll see how long it takes, because I've only sharpened it I think 4 times maybe. And the last thing is the current lip balm I'm working on. So this lip balm is the one all the way down here, and that's what it was at the beginning. It was already a Franken lip balm, so then there was a little bit of a point because that was the mold that I used, but now I've actually flattened that point, and it is like that now, so much shorter. And what happened is that I tend to gouge lines into my lip products so that I can track its use. And when I gouged a line earlier this week, so today's Sunday, maybe I gouged it on like Monday or something, there was actually 3 visible lines, and I actually worked past that 3rd line, and then now down halfway between the 2nd line. So I don't want to break it off though. And I also did melt it a little bit more around the base because it was still kind of wobbly, so I feel like I took away a little bit of product. that way. But honestly, with consistent use, I'm very, very proud of this progress. Like, I feel like I might be able to use it up by the end of next month, which would be crazy to get 2 lip balms basically in a span of 2 months. So now I think it's just setting spray, finally. Shake, shake, shake. Okay, I think we're good now. A good like 15 seconds of watching me just spray. So let's talk about strategy. I feel like I finally have a strategy with this board. When I first looked at the beginning of the year, I was like, I don't know. But as you can see, I already knocked off 3 things here in the span of, I think I just like announced it maybe 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago. So it's nice to see 3 things off of here. I don't think it'll be quite that rate the entire year, but as you can see, I'm trying to get bingos, right, in order to like actually buy something that is like in these problem categories, aka blush and bronzer and lips mainly. So like what I talked about, the mascara, I don't think is gonna count, even though I want it to be, but I think I need a new mascara, I think, sooner than what I can get a bingo for. But what I'm looking at right now is, I think that this diagonal is gonna be my first bingo. I think since I already have 2 here, this is the lip balm I just showed you guys. This is the primer that I used at the beginning of this video. And then this palette, even though palette is daunting, I do put a lot of it into my my Franken powder. So I feel like if I maybe am more liberal with that, I could maybe empty out some of these pans like in the next month and then just like keep working across those pans. And so that's kind of my first thought. It's nice to see a pan in this one as well now. And but I don't think I don't think I can really use that one as part of my first bingo strategy. So I think once I get the first bingo out of the way, I think kind of other things will fall into place. But yeah, I mean, I am touching most of these products. But some of them are challenging. Like, I know the eyeliner is going to be challenging, which I could probably add a little bit now just to get some use out of it. This blush is going to be really difficult. I haven't reached for it yet. Planning on reaching onto this one and this one soon. Those are kind of combined now, and reaching to those. So yeah, so I feel like a couple of them I do have to wait a little bit on, but other ones like slow and steady progress. So that is my update for Panning Bingo. I hope you're as excited for this update as I am. I mean, only a few weeks in and already have a few things marked off, but I am a little nervous about some of the things that I haven't been reaching for, but as long as I keep working on it, I think it'll be good. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.